was inshallah, it's gonna be one of our webinars. So we're gonna talk about the some people are maybe new joiners as well. Some people like joined before. So we'll get started from scratch. I guess we go through maybe 10 minutes about halal investing. Then we'll talk about something that we launched recently, and we have not started mass marketing yet, but inshallah, a lot of people are already joining and they're opening account finally at Musaffa. And even from United States, they actually start like investing in managed portfolios we just launched. We're gonna go over that in detail. We're gonna do a little bit demo, and of course, and that we can, as always, we answer as many questions as we can, and we will inshallah do our best to answer all the questions before we wrap up the meeting. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and if you have a disclaimer, anything like that, so that I can get started.
Yes, it's very important, and going forward in all our webinars, we will have to make those disclaimers because we're SEC registered investment advisor, and that requires its own disclaimers. Or in general, anyone who's involved in investment field, they have to make a disclaimers because people um, who are in the area of the investment or they want to invest, they don't we don't want them to be misguided or misunderstood. That's why these all disclaimers exist, which set by the rules and regulations. And so, as we are SEC registered investment advisors, we want to highlight that it does not mean the endorsement by SEC. Just SEC registers and provides licenses to various actors in the market, like Musaffa. And then this webinar is only for informational purposes for everyone. We want to educate you. We want to illustrate. Anything that you see is for illustrative purposes. We're not giving any legal, tax, or investment advice, and it's not tailored to a specific person. So investing involves risks. You have to remember that. You have to know that. And then past performance of any assets or any securities does not guarantee the future results. Always consult with the financial advisors before investing if you want to have any personal, specifically personal tailored to your investment, because what you are getting from Musaffa, we made it easy for you to go through this interactive website and then do your own investment. But if you want something very specific tailored to you and you want to talk to, please use a financial advisor or investment advisor. Our portfolios may not be available in all the countries, so check your local legislation, regulations, and also be aware that Musaffa is US registered investment advisor. It does not have licenses at all jurisdictions, so you have to know about that. And then full disclaimers and rep feed brochures are on our website. All of these SEC's filed regulations can be found on our website, and it is important that you get informed before you make any of your moves or decisions or actions. Thank you so much for everyone's attention. Now I give the floor to Brother Dilshod, and then he will continue. If there are any legal questions, I will be happy to help, of course. Thank you.
Okay, let me start my share my screen and we get started. So we're gonna have some slides we're gonna go over quickly. One of them is actually basic halal investing concept, and the second one is gonna be about like managed portfolios. Inshallah, coming soon we'll have different topics, and we will explain that we actually, alhamdulillah, with a good amount of success, alhamdulillah, we launched like our managed portfolio investing as well as our self-directed investing. We'll talk about that. Self-directed investing available mostly worldwide versus like we're gonna launch in US very soon, inshallah. That's like self-directed. Basically, you can do research and invest in individual stocks and ETFs. Right now, we can also talk about managed investing, where we launch 4 portfolios. We'll go through them, and then you can actually invest in those portfolios as well. It's actually might be a good idea for a lot of new investors investing in stock market. Actually, start with the managed portfolios. Without further ado, let's get started. Let me actually share my screen right now. Okay, I believe you guys can see my screen, right, Rina? Okay.
Yes, I can see it. We can see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So we're going to talk about investments, halal investing made simple. What do we mean by that? What's investing? So basically, when it comes to stock market, or we talk about like a lot of people misunderstand that when they think stock market is a gamble. It's not really if you know what you're doing. So it's about investing in underlying businesses, and all these businesses, Tesla, Apple, or they wouldn't be here without investors, right? So what's investing? We can talk about the saving versus investing and stock risk and goals. A little bit, we'll stop by that. And why investing matters, especially halal investing matters. What's the definition of actual Islamic way of investing, right? How do you say Sharia compliant in investing? And that's why, Alhamdulillah, all people join here because they want to invest in Sharia compliant way. They just don't want to invest in anything that makes for example, riba. So, what can you invest in? Again, you can stock. We're gonna talk about the stocks, ETFs, gold, and more. So, key Islamic prohibitions. There are concepts called like riba, garar, and maisir, and we will explain shortly what they are and what kind of products are not investable because of this. How to screen stocks, actually, we'll talk about that. I'll show you. I'll do demo. You can do actually on our own platform. You can screen stocks and for Sharia compliance. And we talk about smart strategies. One is called dollar cost averaging. One is diversification and compounding. Okay, so let's get started. And again, anytime, please feel free to ask questions. Type the questions. Usually we get a lot of questions. Alhamdulillah, we stay very busy and engaged. On chat, feel free to type your questions. Inshallah, we'll answer them one by one. Again, what's investing? Understand the foundation before growing your money, right? So let's go here. Investing versus savings. It's very basic concept, but we have to do this because not everybody's here with an investment experience. We have people joining from all around the world, and then sometimes they don't have much investing experience. So investing basically putting your money into something that actually that making money from you, for you, investing in a company usually, or some kind of endeavor, right? Saving is something that you put in the bank and then you just don't touch it, because you don't want to lose your money, you don't want to take any risk. But unfortunately, most of the countries in the world, if not all, including United States, they're faced with something called inflation. So in US, for example, like a couple years ago, if you put $10,000, it's not the same 10,000 anymore. Probably it's worth about maybe six, 7,000 right now with a lot of inflations happening, right? So you're gonna lose the purchasing power. That's a big difference, right? Saving is safe for short-term needs. Of course, saving is needed, but again, if you have 3, 4 years, that might be a little bit longer just to put on a savings account, right? That's what we are seeing a lot of Muslims do. They put in the savings account because they don't know how to invest. Investing is a powerful for long-term goals, right? So let's discuss a little bit about one second. I thought I was sharing my screen. Just one second. I think I'm not. Uh, I'm sharing my screen, but you guys don't see the slides
We
yet,
s-
right?
we see slides like the first
Yeah.
slide, I believe.
Let me
So
stop it, and because I was going through the slides, let me go again from beginning and see if it is because. Just give me a second because I think it got stuck on the first slide. Let me restart it. Thank you for your patience. Just one second. Okay. Now let me share my screen. I think now you guys can see it. Okay. I think it's two different files. So let me go and share my screen. Okay. Now you can see, right? Okay. What's investing? Again, we did talk about the quickly what's investing. And we talk about that again. What can you invest in? Stocks, ETFs, cook, and gold. And let's go what's investing. Again, difference between investing and savings, right? So again, people invest to make money, right? So one is like beat inflation. That's one of the purposes, but that's not the only purpose, right? Because we want to make money. But beating inflation is a good also like in the I would say motivation. Prices rise every year. Your money must keep up. And goals, and we will show you that inshallah we will launch soon something called goal-based investing. So you should be able to invest in the portfolios based on your goals. If you want to buy a house, or maybe you want to have a wedding, or you want to go to Hajj, now inshallah with Musaffa very soon you should be able to invest depending on what kind of goals you have. And and sometimes you want to invest because you also want to earn an income, right? So that's why you can invest in. We do have a portfolio. Shortly, I'll show you. It's called basically income portfolio. You can invest in companies that actually pays you dividends. And also that time is important, compounding growth. What it means, not in terms of the interest. Compounding means if you keep investing steadily every month from your paycheck, over time it can compound, right? It can be multiple times, inshallah, with the investment gains. So why halal matters? Again, Islamic principles apply to growing your wealth. Halal matters because we are Muslims, right? We believe in it. We want to make sure we want to stay Sharia compliant because investment can also get a little bit messy if you don't look at the Sharia compliant. I'll show you something surprising. Today I had a wonderful call with one of the brothers, for example, like didn't know much about the purification process as you expected. Very knowledgeable person. So we're gonna go over a little bit about purification process, which is gonna be considered mandatory part of Sharia compliant investing. It's not optional. Every time you invest, there's almost a small portion that's not clean. You can purify by giving to charity. We'll talk about that. And core Islamic principles, right? Wealth belongs to Allah. We have to take care of it. We're gonna earn through halal means. Again, we have to share and circulate our wealth and avoid greed and waste. What can you invest in? This is what I want to talk to you about. This slide, we actually updated. Inshallah, we're going to keep updating it. It's something came up with our own research. Alhamdulillah, in the past 5 years, Musaffa also became one of the most trusted brands in the world, Islamic fintech world. And Alhamdulillah, we just exceeded 640,000 people on the platform. So it's growing fast and we're collecting a lot of data. In that time, we actually analyzed over 100,000 stocks and ETFs. 100,000 worldwide. So what we found out is actually this chart. I'm going to go and talk about maybe a minute or two because it's extremely important. So if you look at the liquid asset class, what do we mean by the liquid asset class? Something you can buy and sell on the spot, right? So you don't have to wait for days to sell. For example, if you have a house, you want to sell it, it's not considered liquid. It's considered illiquid because it might take 1 day to 1 year or more to sell a house. But if you want to buy and sell, these are a liquid asset class. And there is around, again, this number is not static, it's dynamic, it's for approximation. There's about $430 trillion market in the world right now, plus minus, liquid asset classes. As you can see, let's start with the fixed income. 1/3 almost of the all investable world is in fixed income. It includes like bonds, corporate bonds, and maybe treasuries you buy from US government, right? All the fixed incomes. It's not considered Sharia compliant because again, it's riba. So that's a huge amount. As you can see, $140 trillion with a T is traded in fixed income. And you have derivatives not Sharia compliant. That's like options. A lot of people don't know. Options are not Sharia compliant. Futures, forwards, they're not Sharia compliant. And there are specific reasons for that. We'll get to that. One of the things you have to have an ownership. Some people ask me in the morning, why is day trades not Sharia compliant? Because when you buy and sell stock, you're not buying a paper, you're buying an underlying business. And you cannot sell something you do not own. When you buy a stock, the transfer did not happen yet. It takes about a day or two for that ownership to be transferred under your name, then you can sell it. There are conditions. So again, derivatives not Sharia compliant. Cryptos is like in the gray area, still a lot of debate going on. Some Sharia scholars said it's okay. Some of them, they said they don't. So we're still researching on that one before we actually come to terms. And money market funds and deposit, if you have a certificate deposit that you put at the bank and accrues interest, not Sharia compliant. Now, the only thing that can be investable is like investing in businesses. Of course, we have Sharia compliant bonds. We call them like fixed income. That's like a comparable. It's called Skook, but it's a very tiny market. So we have not even included here. So if you look at the stocks, about 35%, I would say, plus minus, became Sharia compliant based on our Musaffa's own research. Again, we have been analyzing stock for the past 4 years, 5 years, and we built a database of our basically, and we keep record of that. Based on that calculation, about like as you can see, there's about $110 trillion stock market, $110 trillion plus minus again, and out of that again, 54 trillion. If you look at the percentage wise, market cap wise, I would say about 40% plus minus became Sharia compliant. Now the question comes in, how do you get access to those? Well, through Musaffa. You have to come and sign up on Musaffa so you can have access to these Sharia compliant stocks. Now you don't even have to do research. You can actually invest in managed portfolios, and we'll get to that in a minute. I hope it was very informative because we did put some work into, we did the research, and based on this, this is what's allowed. Unfortunately, we're not even, as Muslim, we're not even taking advantage of what's allowed to us. We are completely almost staying out of stock market. I'm talking about as Muslim population in general worldwide. I'm not talking about specific people in the United States. As Muslim Ummah, about 2 billion people, they're not much into investments. Unfortunately, that's why we're falling behind financially. So I think this $54 trillion is a good start. At Musaffa's, our intention, inshallah, uh, built so much power in Muslim community, so we can make these companies change their behavior and go. If you want a Muslim money, then why don't you go Sharia compliant, right? Completely. So we can more invest more in you. So we can control it through our finance, inshallah, in the future. So again, I want to talk halal stock, halal ETFs, and Skook. Again, halal stock is we will go and show on our platform how many stocks you can actually invest in, how you can screen stocks on Musaffa. And the good news, by next week, inshallah, we are giving away 1 year free membership. Free, I mean, you have to ask for like maybe 1 or 2 minutes questions and validate your identity and or phone number or email, and then you can get 1 year access to Musaffa's research platform for free. So there is no actual excuse because you don't even have to pay anymore, but then you have to go and use it, right? So halal stocks, halal ETFs, unfortunately, there are very, very few halal ETFs. Worldwide, there's about more than, I would say like there's around 9,000, 8,000, 9,000 ETFs. ETF stands for exchange traded funds. That means you can invest in one investment, but it can have multiple stocks in it. It can have a 1,000 stocks or 10,000 stocks. So when you invest in it with one click, you're actually buying a lot of stocks, right? So that means you invest in a lot of companies. That has a built-in diversification. So one company goes bankrupt, you still might end up making money. So ETFs are very affordable, but unfortunately, there's a less than literally 10 probably ETFs in the world right now, Sharia compliant. So that's another challenge because imagine there's about 8, 9,000 ETFs, but only about 10 of them Sharia compliant. But then Sharia compliant means the built for Sharia compliant purposes. But Alhamdulillah, we launched ETF screener, and then based on that, in US alone, about 75 ETFs became Sharia compliant based on our research. So I'm not including them. I'm just specifically made by Muslim companies, right? That's about less than 10, maybe 5, 6, maybe. And so that's not a lot. And Skok is like Islamic bond. That's basically it's developed. It's a huge market. I wouldn't say huge, but compared to other countries in Malaysia and Saudi, but it hasn't been like globalized yet. So let's talk about the key prohibitions. So as Muslims, we have to pay very attention what we can invest or we cannot invest. So riba, is everybody knows, no need explanation, is not allowed. It's any predetermined fixed return on a loan. That's why fixed income is not allowed. You cannot say, here's a let's say $10,000 every month. I want $1,100 return. It's not allowed. So examples: bank interest, conventional bonds, credit card charges, and Sharia compliant. That's why you have halal alternatives like sukuk, or it's called profit sharing, mudaraba, or trade financing, right? All those things, there is Islamic version, but it hasn't been developed or it hasn't been marketed enough, inshallah. So gharar is uncertainty, excessive ambiguity or uncertainty in a contract. So this is what happens with derivatives. When you sign a derivatives, usually there's a lot of ambiguity as well. And also there's ownership issues with the derivatives. And if you guys have any questions, please type your questions while I'm going through, and we're gonna go back and inshallah we're gonna do our best to answer all those questions. If you have any questions about derivatives or anyway. Derivatives contract with unknown terms, short selling is not allowed. Again, there is halal alternatives, clear trade agreements, ownership-based contracts, right? It has to have a clarity. And Mysore is gambling, basically earning wealth purely by chance, not effort or trade, like casino stocks, lottery, speculative derivatives not allowed, right? You always have an alternative, real business investments and partnership contracts. So it's just to give you a little bit glimpse. Sharia screening, this is where I want to talk about what Musaffa is doing right now on our research platform. As I said, there's not much, as Muslims, there is not much we can do. We cannot go and screen fixed income when you say the whole asset class is not Sharia compliant. The only thing, and that's why it was so important for me to show you that Sharia compliant part of the stock market can be investable. This is why we did. I'll show the platform again from next week, we are opening it up in a way that, so of course there are conditions, but you can sign up in 1 minute, 2 minutes, you can ask for questions, sign up, use the platform for 1 year for free from us. Please start using it and get the word out, because more people needs to come in and start using investment halal way. A lot of young children, especially I was going through a lot of mosques in Houston during Ramadan. We talked to a lot of younger generation people. They into Robinhood, all of them. They doing a lot of. They talk about options. There's no rule basically when it comes to investments. Younger generation especially. That's why it's our duty to guide them. That's why we giving this platform basically almost for free. So stocks can be green, which is Sharia compliant, and not halal. Very specific. And some people say, why you have doubtful companies? Well, here's the problem. When you look at we have to be specific. We cannot say something Sharia compliant, halal or not halal, just because we feel like it. We have to prove with facts, right? So that means some companies, they're going to fall in the gray area. So for example, Walmart is a classic example. Walmart sells alcohol, sells pork. So, but unfortunately, they don't report what percent of the revenue come from these sources. And they don't have to, right? Because why? If they don't have to, they won't do it. But we also cannot determine exactly, because based on AFM methodology we use, at least 95% of revenue has to be Sharia compliant. 95. So we don't know if it falls in that 95, 93, 91, 98. So that's why we put them in a categories like it's better to stay away. And so there's enough halal companies to invest in, alhamdulillah. So we look at the different, again, we look at the business operations, we look at their, not just the revenue source, we look at the financials, interest-bearing income, basic loan assets, halal revenue. Basically, we look at interest-bearing debt, interest-bearing assets, right? So it has to be less than 30% of the market cap based on AFM methodology. Of course, like very easy to understand, tech, healthcare, education, logistics, very good. What's not halal? Alcohol, gambling, pork, interest-based, of course, they're going to fail, right? So smart strategies, again, I was talking about quickly about something called dollar cost averaging. Some people say, is it market overvalued, undervalued? Is it good time to invest? This dollar cost averaging is actually plays out in the long run usually. So what means every month, whatever happens, you're going to keep investing $1,000. I'm just saying one example. So you're going to invest. If the market is very expensive, you will buy less shares, right? Fewer shares. But market is very low, undervalued, then you buy more shares. But as long as you keep that every month or every some kind of schedule, in the long run, you might end up making money, right? So that's called dollar cost averaging. So you just keep investing, right? So diversification is very easy to understand, and we're gonna talk about managed portfolios where we actually gonna put a lot of stocks together as a portfolio, and then plus, we actually mix it up with the Islamic bonds, which is scoop or gold or cash. And we'll get to that in a minute. And compounding again over time, if you keep investing, your wealth can keep compound, right? And everybody has different time horizons. That's why we are launching goal-based investing, where you can invest based on your goals. Emergency fund in the next 6 months versus I want to buy a house in the next 5 years versus I want my children go to education, to university, maybe 10-year goal, 15-year goal. So you can start actually saving towards your goals, and inshallah, Musaffa is making it happen. So Musaffa's platform again, we'll talk about that. I'm gonna actually show you how it works on the platform shortly. So we got screened over 120,000 stocks, and I don't know any single company in the world was able to do that. Alhamdulillah. So we have about 24, 25 analysts working full time, and they sit down, they analyze every single stock. Just one by one, and then we have a quality control. So we have analysts, we also have a reviewer before it's published, right? So we have multiple people has to go through every single stock. So we do that, and we do that as soon as the reports come out. And we also gonna show you something. Sharia compliant doesn't mean Sharia compliant automatically. What I mean by that, it's not all equal. So if you have I'll explain to you in a minute. If you have a classroom of people, the pass rate is C, let's say in US C to A, right? So whoever got the grade of C is not equal to somebody who got A. A has more knowledge. So just so you pass the exam doesn't mean everybody's now same way. And I'll show you actually how it's done. So that's why we have a grading system on halal stocks as well, from C minus to A plus. And we came up with something called mystery score. I think a lot of people is going to find it very useful. It's like Musaffa Islamic Social Responsible Investing Score. It's a little bit mouthful, but it also, we don't look at the Sharia compliance only anymore. We also going to look how the companies are treating the communities, treating the environment, right? So it's like a ESG, but Islamic version of it. And now we launched actually our self-direct investing. I'll do a little bit demo. As you can see, you can actually go through, literally go through like 11,000 stocks and ETFs, and you can invest in halal ones on real time right now. Globally, it's available based on your jurisdiction, which one allows or not, but technologically it's available. And inshallah, it's going to be available in US very soon. We're just waiting like a couple integrations right now, and we get compliance alerts when the stock changes, and we have something called purification zakat calculators. It's pretty much it. So let me go ahead and now go through managed portfolios. In the meantime, please keep typing your questions. I hope I'm not going that fast. If I am, please let me know. I'm very passionate about topics, and I do that webinars all the time. So alhamdulillah, and every time it gets better. Now let me open and start sharing, alhamdulillah, our Musaffa's own halal portfolios. Okay. And Bismillah, let's get started. Okay, let me know once you can see it, Rinat. Just 1 second. Okay, can you see it now, Rinat?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
I see the slides, right?
Yeah,
Webinar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Introducing Musaffa ready-made halal portfolios, right?
Yeah.
So now we will discuss something really, really excited. We are discussing. It's really cool because it was long overdue. So we'll talk about something called like Musaffa's uh, managed portfolios, how it works, how you can invest. So a lot of newcomers, and maybe they feel intimidated investing in single stocks. What if the stocks goes down and they don't have the knowledge to do research, or they don't have time to do research? Now they can still participate in the market by investing in a basket of stocks. And our managed portfolios, they do that. Alhamdulillah, several people already signed up. They transferred the money and they start using the platform, by the way. So you can literally open account right now today. So I'll show you where to go in a minute. So introducing Musaffa's ready-made halal portfolios. So what we mean by that? There's a problem with solving. Why halal investors want more than just screening, right? So what happened was we never intended to be screening platform or research platform, but we realized when we started the company that our ummah wasn't ready for something like all of a sudden you start investing platform self-directed. That's why for the first 3 years at Musaffa's life, we launched a research platform and we didn't charge for it. We just last about 2 years we start like charging for testing the pricing, and alhamdulillah I can say that a lot of people on our database we collect about 100,000 questionnaires answers over time, and majority of the people, about 40% people, they want something managed portfolios. They're saying I love your platform, I love to do research, I just don't have time or I don't understand, just tell me what to invest in, right? So that's why we develop managed portfolios. Again, we will explain how it works shortly. We launched 4 different managed portfolios. We call them Musaffa US Core or US Growth, US Income, US Innovation. The reason say we US for now, it's for US market. But our intention to bring up yesterday in the morning, Renat, so many people were asking about what about Canada? What about Canada? So we are coming there. We are very looking forward to it. Inshallah, go to Canada, Europe, and we're going to be expanding. And alhamdulillah, but the US is a good start right now. So this portfolio are based on US companies. Again, we have a halal first methodology, and we will show you literally how in 5 minutes you can actually open an account and start investing. In 5 minutes. Of course, it might take some time. Sometimes you might ask for KYC approval in case you don't get approved right away. It might take a day. Other than that, in 5-10 minutes, you should be able to open account and start investing. Investing starts only with the minimum $500. And there's a story behind it, but alhamdulillah, it was gonna cost us like $5,000. We brought down to $500 with negotiation with our partners, broker dealers. So alhamdulillah, it's quite affordable now. So the problem is solving again, why halal investors need more stock screeners. Again, time consuming. A lot of people say, I wanna, but I don't have time. I'm a physician, I'm a doctor. Just tell me what to invest in, right? That's why, Alhamdulillah, we are SEC registered investment advisor. We already have registration with Security Exchange Commission, right? So with that, there are some things come with it. Like we can also, like in that case, we can present this managed portfolios. Again, it might be time consuming or hard to start. Some people, they don't have this, uh, they're not confident enough to start investing in stocks, okay? Because it might be like too much at the beginning. So, or there's actually like compliance drift, right? What happens if you buy a stock and then every time the status changes, you have to keep following up, however, manually, it might become a burden, especially if you have multiple stocks. So that's why managed portfolio can be a good solution. Again, what are they? Again, quite goal. So you have a goal. So basically, what kind of portfolio you do you want to go? And US core, we'll talk about. It's basically US economy. You know, we took the 1,000 biggest companies in the United States, 1,000, and we screened them thoroughly, and about 356 became Sharia compliant. That's like 35% over. So now we build a portfolio with $500, as low as $500, you can invest in 356 companies in one shot. It's really cool. And we're going to talk about, and then we have, again, what if you're into AI companies, right? AI is picking up, or you build Musaffa US innovation. There's more than 100 stocks you can invest with one shot. So again, 4 different portfolios. One way we do that, once you sign up, we're going to ask about 10 plus questions to find out your risk profile and who you are, how much money you make, again, how much asset you have. We ask basic questions so we can recommend the proper portfolio for you. Not even that, also proper combination of asset classes that you might feel comfortable. And I'll demo that in a minute. And then you're gonna put your contribution, how much you want to invest. I want to invest 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, and one click, inshallah. Once you do that, the next business day, you're gonna be owning those stocks, inshallah. Again, 4 of these, I just talked about Musaffa US Core, Musaffa US Growth, Musaffa US Income, and Musaffa US Innovation. First one is broad exposure to US market for long-term growth, investing about 356 companies. Growth is more growth companies, long-term goal. You know, growth companies, usually they don't pay dividends. And usually they're growth technology companies and stuff like that. And of course, you have Musaffa Income. For example, like let's say Procter & Gamble, I'm just giving an example. Let's say it's Shariah-compliant. Then imagine they expanded so much, how many toothbrush you can buy, you know, or how many toothpaste you can buy. So when companies expand to a level where they feel comfortable, when they make money, they're gonna give back some of the profit to shareholders. That's called dividends. So more dividend paying companies are gonna be under US income. And US innovation, as I said, it's more about like high-tech companies, right? So, and you can see like best for anyone getting started, it could be good for Musaffa US Core. Long-term patient investor, maybe growth, income-focused investor, they can go US income, or innovation growth folks like tech investors, right? So, and again, this is the process. One more time, I'll repeat: business activity screening. We do screen those stocks. We actually do financial ratio screening again, and sector caps. We put the cap as well. For example, technology companies cannot be like overwhelmingly represented, so we put a little bit cap. So and we manage it. By the way, one thing about beautiful about managed investing, once you invest in, you don't need to worry about even like rebalancing. We're gonna do it for you. Screening, always updating. We're gonna do it for you. Compliance. What purification, automatic calculation, we're gonna do that for you. So basically, all you need to do just invest money and just sit and watch. Basically, you know, this is what makes it easy. Continuous monitoring to trigger rebalancing and purification, everything's handled, right? So now, what's the difference between these managed portfolios versus like do it yourself? Again, we're not saying for example, if you ask me, I've been in finance for all my life, over 20 years, 24 years. So if you ask me, I love to choose my stocks because it's an art for me, it's a passion for me. But what's best for me doesn't mean it's best for everyone. In fact, I don't come as a CEO of the company. I say, oh, you know what? We have to build this. If you ask me right now, I build a research company. I wouldn't do anything else. I love research, but we have to be realistic. So that's why we are also data-oriented company. We collect tons of feedback from our user base, over 100,000 feedbacks. And based on that, we're building the platform. 40% people, around 40% people, they want managed investing. They said, I want it, I need this, I'm not interested in picking stocks. So there is advantage of disadvantage for each. But this specific slide talks about advantages of managed investing. What's the advantage of stock picking? Yeah, if you hit the jackpot, let's say you invest in several really good companies, you can make 10 times, 20 times more money. There might be more money in stock picking. But again, it's not for everyone, right? Some people, they feel comfortable investing in multiple companies. So basically, why don't invest in the market in general, not the stock? So as you see, ready-made portfolios basically takes about 5 minutes, maybe more, depending on your research. Research can take hours and weeks. I know that I invested some companies. I had to do 3 months of research on these companies, read financials, go over in and out. Imagine that. So not everybody have time to do that. And decisions, you just pick one of the portfolios, right? In here, you don't need to do like think about like how much of asset you need to contribute each stock, stuff like that. We've done it for you. Sharia screening, again, you have to check manually every time you invest in individual stocks, but here we do continuously, rebalancing we do continuously, monitoring we do continuously, diversification is automatically built into it. So again, how to do investment, I'll show you. You open a portfolio tab, you pick your portfolio, review what's inside, and you fill out the questionnaire and you just confirm and transfer your money, invest. That's that easy. So again, I even talked about this slide, and I think in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and sharing the real platform. That's actually this is not a demo, actually the real platform, not just a demo. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys right now. Just give me a minute. In the meantime, we might have gotten some good amount of questions,
Yeah,
inshallah.
I've been responding them. Just one quick disclaimer again for some people who joined later who did not join from the beginning. I want to repeat again very quickly the disclaimers. Musaffa is a SEC registered investment advisor. That's why we launched the managed portfolios and self-directed investing in partnership with our brokerage. But SEC registration does not mean endorsement by SEC itself. They just provide the registration for all the other participants on the market. This webinar is for informational purposes only, and we're not giving investment, legal, or any other type of advice on this webinar. And investing always involves risks. Past performance does not guarantee the future results. This is very important to note all of these disclaimers. Always consult with your financial advisor before investing. If you want to have very personalized investing for yourself. Otherwise, you use Musaffa, that is internet-only investment advisor, which you use through our website. Our portfolios may not be available in all jurisdictions, all countries. Check your local laws and legislations. And the full disclaimers and fee brochures are on our website. Always check them. And then some people are asking about the fees. I'm providing the links, but please note that any investment advisor, they're obligated to put it on their website. Not only that, if you search it online through SEC, that there's a obligated filing which we have to put it. It's not hidden. It's nothing about the registered investment advisors. You don't find it anything hidden. Okay. Thanks for
Yeah.
everyone's attention.
Everything is basically by the book. In the morning, some people ask me, how can I check? And I showed you how to do that. And I told them, look, our goal is to make sure that this company, inshallah, is built on a vision and the mission to serve Muslim Ummah for the generations to come. It's not just a startup, just trying to make money. No, we have a bigger vision. That's why we have to protect it. That's why we have a strong legal team, and we make sure everything done by the book, so that we can actually not just survive, but we can actually flourish centuries. I used to work for Wells Fargo Securities, and for 8 years almost. That company has been actually started 1850. That's been 176 years old company. How come in Muslims we cannot have this kind of companies who can actually flourish in centuries, right? That's why it's important to follow the rules, because you don't want to take any chance. We don't want to take a chance. So I want to show you about this managed portfolios. Cool, literally. We just update our web platform. As you can see, it's very basic, easy to understand. Before it was more research-oriented platform. Now we move the research inside. So outside, you can come on a platform, and then if you want to research, you can click on discover. I'll show you. So we have three different doors now, and you can go any door you want, or you can go all the doors, right? But not everybody wants to go do research. So grow your wealth halal way. And Alhamdulillah, as you can see, we just passed 641,000. And I can proudly say that it's been like 100% organic traffic, signups. Its word of mouth is going viral, Alhamdulillah. So you can choose, you can discover halal stocks yourself, you can invest in them, or you can actually invest in our expertly managed portfolios. So when you come here, you can see the statistic. We have a really high rating. We got over 1.2 million downloads on the apps right now, and 4.8 ratings across, Alhamdulillah, Google and iOS, right? So here we have three different doors. We're going to talk about this investment door. And by the way, discover is something. Invest for me means some people want to come and they say, I want to invest in managed portfolios. What Musaffa can manage for us, I'll just go and invest in it. So this is the way you can do. Second one is discover. This is a door for research. Some people would love to do research. You click on discover and you're going to go research world, right? This is where you're going to go to all the research, not just the United States. Look at this. You can research around 64 different markets about each individual stock, right? You can do detailed analytics research. If I want to do Apple research, for example, I have all halal stocks. I have halal ratings. I can go and say, you know what? I want a stock, but I want to see only halal stocks. Don't show me if it's not halal. I want to see, like, let's say only A stocks, A minus to A plus stocks. These are like very, very Sharia compliant because they make least amount of money from riba, for example, right? But still Sharia compliant. I'll get to that, explain. This is a research platform, but if you go manage investing, you don't need to worry about that. That's why you have a different door. And also we have Invest Myself. It's launched around the world, but not in US yet. A lot of people are asking, basically it's going to be direct compared to Robinhood. I could say that, but Muslim version of it, right? It's already live. I'll also demo how it works. I'm going to place a real trade in front of you. So you're going to get really excited. And a lot of people are waiting for that. I'm waiting for that personally. But again, there are a couple integrations left. Inshallah, once we're done, we can launch it in US as well. But let's talk about Invest for Me, this door. Grow your wealth halal way. Diversified across stocks, Sukuk is Islamic bond, and gold. Profession manage and zakat and purification, we calculate manually, automatically for you. So we have four different portfolios that we just discussed. We have US core, we have growth, income, and innovation. Let's go US core. So US core is a broad exposure to US market with fully Sharia compliant portfolio. And interestingly, we have something really cool you can play around to find your, it's a basically a calculator. It's like simulation. So for example, like once we take a questionnaire from you, we will tell you, oh, you are in your risk profile, you're balanced, or you are more direct aggressive or aggressive, right? So based on that, allocations can change. For example, if you're retiring in 3 years, we don't want you to put all your money into stocks, right? Because 3 years you might need the money. So in that case, we can say, why don't you go moderately conservative, right? So our system basically will do that for you once you answer some questions. So let's say if you're conservative, you can only, let's say you invest only 40% in stocks right now, like, or conservative, moderately conservative about 55%. Aggressive, 97% you can do stocks, and maybe 3% we live for cash for rebalancing. So it changes. And based on that, you can also do that. For example, let's do balanced. And then you're gonna say, well, my first investment, I want to do, like, let's say 10,000 investments, right? $10,000. You can do the $10,000 investment first. And also you can just do here a monthly contribution. Let's say you want to put $1,000 every month, and you're gonna do 10,000 initially. 1 second. And then every month you invest in this portfolio, $10,000, and you will keep reinvesting from your paycheck, maybe $1,000 a month. And then amount investing is going to be this much. And 10 years, you can see how much money you can grow. This is again simulation. This is not guarantee. This is based on what market has returned in the past, right? In the future can be different, but it can give you idea. For example, I invest 130,000, and my money grew so far. I'm at 67% return, and actually potential growth of 87,000. Of course, it changes. If I go aggressive, there's a more risk I take, but I'm gonna be probably making more money, right, in the long run. So you can also see that. So this is a simulation. You can see once you're ready, you're gonna click start investing, and you're gonna go inside the real portfolio where you open account. And now this is actually my own account. We just launched recently, and you can see like how it works on the platform. And literally in 5 minutes, I just showed you how to open account. You go, there are three doors, musaffa.com, choose invest for me and follow it. And then US core is we think that it's more like common. You can choose any portfolio you want. You can read the descriptions. So this is actually trading side of it. So I'm going to talk about this side. So once you log in this side, as you can see this portfolio is actually recently invested in the innovation portfolio, and it's Cook Gold and Cash. And right now it's for testing purposes. We put $500. We added the 50 and 20 because we're testing the platform to get started. But this is a real platform that you can open, and people already investing largest amount of money. So once you do that, how it works, you have again four different portfolios. As I said, let's say US core portfolio. This is another test. This is real production. So you can see US core portfolio. You can read the description. What is this? How it works? What's expected return? What's the moderate risk level? You can see the sector allocation. Most importantly, you can see that there's about in here about more than 356 stocks right here. You're gonna be investing in one shot. Imagine with $500, 1,000, 5,000, whatever, you're going to be investing in 356 companies at once. So basically, US economy, halal way. So, and you can see here sector allocation about 37% in information technology, healthcare about 14%. You can see market cap is as we expected. Most companies going to be mega cap and large cap. And there are some of them mid cap and small cap as well. And now I go back, I can see my holdings. As you can see, my holdings, US Innovation, this is actually 113 stocks. So Innovation has fewer stocks. This is more like bigger companies. And you can see that, by the way, you can see which companies you are investing before you open an account and actually before you actually invest in it. You can see it's a very transparent platform. So now I can see all my investments, as you can see, Apple, all the way, Tesla, and I can see all my holdings in here. And I can also see my Skook in here. Again, gold and cash in one spot. I can see diversifications, how my portfolio is diversified, what's the sector allocations. As you see here, about 59% is information technology. As expected, it's an innovation. You have AI companies in there, and you got healthcare companies, consumer discretionary, financial. So you have some. And again, this is market cap. You can see, and exposure as well. And you can see your history again. Every time you buy, you see that with one click, you can buy so many stocks. And then you can do transfer, you can see your money, you can link your account in as well. This is a real account, and Alhamdulillah, already people start using it. Again, the goal is to give access to market. The goal is not to beat the market. That becomes later on. Right now, we are just happy that people can invest finally in not just put the money in the bank, 10,000, 20, 30,000. Let that money work for you, right? That was the whole goal. So now what we can do, we also have a trading platform, by the way. It's working. US, I have to wait a little bit, but I'll show you. This is actually our trading platform. This is a real trading platform. It's working for internationally. We are also improving right now onboarding as well. So, and I'll show you something really amazing. Once you log in, you're gonna have a dashboard. In that, you can see both like managed investing and self-direct investing. You can open both accounts very soon. You don't need to choose a pick anymore. And we're launching it, inshallah, in the next week or so. So now this is a Musaffa Live. So you can see like these are real investments, and halal top gainers, top losers. You can actually, oh, by the way, some people love it. You can learn about halal investing from scratch. What's investing? You can click on it and you can take some courses, mini courses. And at the end, they can ask you like questions as well. So there's a lot of hundreds of courses, mini courses you can take and learn about halal investing from scratch. You don't have to have any financial knowledge. We will explain you like we're explaining 6-year-old. And that was the purpose. So, and you can see the halal stocks, trending halal stocks, top gainers, top losers, all Sharia compliant, right? And here you can see my portfolio positions as well. As you can see here, my positions, it's already 150. The reason that it's a low amount of money, because we do a lot of fractional shares from $1. And we want to show it to the world, like you don't have to have a lot of money. If you're not United States, maybe you are in different countries, like People opening account from all around the world. They don't have to have a lot of money. They can start as low as $100, and they can invest more and more. So as you can see here with this money, again, $11 in cash, $120 almost in stocks and ETFs, $23, and you can see all the holdings. There are some non-halal stocks. Basically, we bought them for demo purposes, and I'll show you how to trade those as well because we give you warning not to invest in those companies. So, and compliance, every single stock you have, you always have an X-ray. This is a trading platform. This is not managed investing, by the way, but I really want to show it to you because it's coming. So now you can see like every single individual stock, if you purchase it, you can see compliance, mystery score, what halal revenue, doubtful interest bearing, interest bearing. You can see everything in one spot. And we have developed something called mystery. Very cool. It's called Musaffa Islamic Social Responsible Investing. We don't look at the Sharia compliance only. We look also going forward something called like how they treat communities. What about human rights, product involvement, environmental responsibility? So we're gonna start looking at the more. Inshallah, as you can see, we are grading from 100. The company got 73 in general, and you can see like other companies as well. So, and you can see purifications actually. I'm gonna talk a little bit detail about purification. Every single stock you have to buy. I think it's time that I can talk about. Then we're gonna take a lot of questions in a few minutes. So if you look at here, some people say, can you explain to me what this purification means? Why do I need to use Musaffa? Today, one person asked me, I really explained, and he was like, wow. Because once we explain the concept of purification, there is no way to unknow it. Once you know it for life. Why is so important? So let's go back. It's going to take only like 2 minutes to explain, but it's exceptionally important because purification is not optional. It's not sadaqah. Just to let you know, it is a mandatory obligation to purify your investments. I'll tell you why exactly. Please pay attention. So if we go back in here to our Musaffa's website, and we open a research side of it in the middle. So now let's go back, for example, this stock, Apple is a good example, right? So if you look at Apple here, again, we are opening up this platform for 1 year. I just want to tell everybody here, when inshallah next week, you should be able to answer some questions, get a 1 year access. No way, no excuse not to use Musaffa. We're not asking for money. We want actually, we want you to learn and invest in it. There has to be like awareness. As you see, Apple, we don't tell you just it's Sharia compliant. We give a C plus score. So it's close to failing. With a little bit tweak, it might fail next quarter. But if you look at the history, it has not failed so far. From 2002, you can look at all the history of the stock, right? We do that for every stock. You can click view compliance history. But if you look at here, Apple makes about closer to 96% of its revenue Sharia compliant way, but it has about 4% that's not Sharia compliant. Based on AOFA methodology, they say you can invest in a company as long as 95% is Sharia compliant. Maybe 3, 4, 5% is not Sharia compliant, you can invest in it. If they don't do that, there's not going to be a single company almost in the world to invest in. I'll give you an example. Apple is a good example. Let's say Apple makes really good products, but then they have a lot of cash. What do they do with it? They put it at the bank or they're going to invest in treasuries. Somehow they end up making interest income. Now, what do we need to do as Muslims? If we invest in Apple from day one, before we invest, we make an intention. We're saying that, look, I'm investing in its core operations. I'm not investing in side operations. So core operations is actually, it's a technology company. But if I invest in this company, whatever I make, I disassociate myself with the interest income that they make. So that's going to go automatically to charity. It does not hit my checking account. So that money cannot hit your checking account. Literally, you cannot feed your children with it. I'll tell you why in a minute. So if you look at here, we also give you, we don't give you just a number. We prove it. That's why we have the highest, one of the highest rating, 4.8 rating across different apps. So we show you, as you can see, about 55% of the revenue come from just selling iPhone. That's where they make the most money, right? And then we have some service in here, but unfortunately they have some Apple Music, Apple TV. As you can see, we dig into financial reports. We find the parts like, again, this some not halal portion of it, so we also have to deduce it sometimes. Apple Music, I hope everyone agrees. There's a part in Apple Music we don't agree with, or Apple TV. We don't agree with that part. Apple Card. Apple Card, might have riba in it. And also they have interest income, right, from cash. So now the question comes in. I don't have to, you're going to answer this question for yourself. It's a very easy question. Let's say in here, Musaffa, let's say you invested $100. You invest in Apple, you make $100. How much you can keep? Can you guys type it? I know I've been talking for an hour. Let's make it interactive. Last point. Can you guys type it? Again, how much money you can keep? Just type it for fun, please. If you invest and make $100 profit, what portion you can keep? Yeah, 95, 92. Perfect. So this portion is yours. What about this portion? It cannot touch your account. So what it happens, you have to purify it. It has to go to charity. So Alhamdulillah, Musaffa already built that a while ago because we have something called portfolio integration. So if I go back in here right now, we have this service as well. And inshallah, we're gonna try to keep this one free as well, but there are costs associated with it. So now my Webull account is linked to my account, Musaffa account. This is not trading platform. This is the research platform we are in. Remember, we are inside the Discover door, right? So research is separate door. In the research, you can actually link your portfolios right now. Let's say Vanguard. Again, you can have almost all the names. 1,500 institutions is so you can link them. And for example, my Webull is linked right now, and I can see my holdings from Webull. I can see which one is stock is halal, not halal. I can see Sharia compliance of everything. And the best part, I can see purification. Every time I buy and sell a stock, imagine that we capture that for you. And we're going to tell you to actually, you need to purify. As you see, it's all purified. And we will build that into the system. We have already built it for that. Now we're building into the trading platform and managed portfolio. So you don't have to worry about the purification part. But now I hope everybody agrees that for Apple example, that $4 cannot go to your checking account. It's not allowed. Sharia scholars never allowed that. They just said that 95%, if they do 100%, there will not be any single almost company to invest in the riba infested world. But then 95% was a solution, temporary solution, but under the condition you have to purify. Purification is mandatory. So even if I go Google here, I'm going to type like purification, Islam, stocks is mandatory, for example. And if you look at here, what it says, stock purification is mandatory for Muslim investors. It is mandatory. It's not optional. Once you know it, you cannot unknow it anymore. That's why you're gonna need the platforms like Musaffa, even though you manage portfolio, which we are gonna help you, or you're gonna do the stock investing yourself. We still need the purification. And every time you buy a sell a stock, you want to calculate that purification amount manually. It's impossible. You can do that, but it takes hours. And we built a system already, right? So Alhamdulillah. So I just want to show you that the concept of purification is here extremely important. And you can link more accounts like Robinhood. You can link more. But what's happening, by the way, we have linked over $100 million right now to Musaffa. $100 million in around the world, especially in the US, and most of our investors. And Alhamdulillah, we'll come to investing in Musaffa as well at the minute. If there's an option to invest in Musaffa, become an investor as well. And most of our investors, 90% of our investors are users. They use the platform. They love what they're seeing. They give us good feedback. Alhamdulillah, they're supporting us. Why am I bringing it up? When I talk to investors, they're like, when you're opening this, your to self-directed, so I can transfer my shares from Robinhood, so I don't have to juggle between two different platforms, right? Because now you buy transaction over there, and then you come back and purification here. It's back and forth. It's a little bit tough time, right? So you can do that on the research platform as well. There's so much on the research platform. We are again next month, next week or week or two. Inshallah, you should be able to get a 1 year access. Use the platform, use the app. You can also do the app and then learn about halal investing, right? That's the goal. Now we can ask really, really good questions. Please, now it's like exactly 1 hour. Now we can maybe answer in the next 15, 20 minutes. We're going to try to answer as many questions as possible. So there's so much to share, by the way. I have not even scratched the surface. We have something called Musaffa Academy. For example, if you look at Musaffa Academy, we are bringing up, Alhamdulillah, as you can see here. So we're gonna be start offering like foundation of halal investing courses, how to screen stock course, right? Purify your portfolio. We also intend to give this, inshallah, very soon, like certifications you can actually put on the LinkedIn. And then this is Musaffa Learn Halal Trading. We want to launch something, ask a Sharia scholar. A lot of webinars, people ask us very Sharia-related questions. We might not be the best to answer. That's why we're building a system, inshallah. Imagine millions of people will be able to come and ask for real-time question from hundreds of real-time scholars in real time. That's what Musaffa wants to providing that kind of like platform for both sides. And we also want to launch some Ask AI so that AI is going to be like basically it's going to knowledge hub will be Musaffa's own platform, not different platforms. And we also want to launching something called Ask an Analyst. You can ask analysts. We have a webinars coming right now. You can see, and we got past live sessions. We keep recording, so you can go back and you can watch all these webinars. We do a lot of, as again, building trust within the community is our one of the main core, main our intention. So you can see like you see, there's a lot of guests, a lot of guests, a lot of guests, and it's all about halal investing. Please go watch these webinars and how to use Musaffa here and academy articles. We published close to close to 1,000 articles right now in the past 5 years. And Alhamdulillah, I can proudly say that 100% of our users right now organic. We're not even spending a dime for marketing anymore. Instead, we're using organically. Like, we're writing articles, we're educating people. So our platform becoming actually a hub for Islamic learning. So there is a platform called FeedSpot here. Again, you can do your own research. If you look at the FeedSpot, um, based on this one, Musaffa is ranked number 5 Islamic fintech, Islamic finance education platform, Islamic finance education platform. So we're not just the Islamic finance company, but we also do education and research. So it's an education and research. Now, Alhamdulillah, it's also investment platform. So now we grew into this organically, we're growing into this role. And our goal is to become basically Google for everybody knows Google, everybody types Google or ChatGPT in this case. So we want to become like default platform for Muslims around the world. And Alhamdulillah, we are on our way with your support. So in that, now let's go back to Q&A. There's tons of things we can share, but unfortunately, we don't have all the time in the world. Now let's go back to questions. Rinat, if you can help me out with the questions.
Of course. Yeah, one of the major questions is coming, Dilshod, people are trying to, I even was surprised that people were saying, tell me exactly the fees. So there's no hiding. We're telling it from the beginning.
I
I'm
can
a little
show,
bit
right? I
confused
can
why
show, right?
people,
Rinat?
yes, yes. But
Yeah.
then there was a little bit of reaction, which I tried to explain. Maybe that's why the comment was. They're saying that it is high at the higher end, which I'm trying to explain, and then if you can give it the
Yeah,
explanations that it's
of course, of course,
even
of course.
the same range with the conventional, most of the conventional institutions. But in that case, what we provide is completely different, which they don't provide it, right? So if you
Yeah,
can explain that.
of course, of course. First of all, based on our, we checked multiple platforms before we came with the pricing, and one of it, we think it's competitive. One, and second thing, again, we don't invest in like for example a lot of platforms they have double fees which we don't actually only on the scoop part probably have some what I'll come to that. So when you invest we pick the stock ourselves because we build a system that way we can choose and pick stocks. But what happens with regular platforms like Charles Schwab, they might give you like let's say 0.25 0.5%, but then they almost exclusively investing in ETFs, and ETFs, they have their own fees. Depending on what kind of ETF, 0.1 to 1.0 fee. So between the ETFs can their own fees as well. So now you're stuck with the two different fees. Platform fee you pay for Charles Schwab or something, and plus you have to pay the underlying ETFs as well, which you don't have to pay here. It's a one-time fee. So let me go back to pricing, and we can explain the
Yes.
pricing. So the pricing is for this one, as you can see, it's very, and you can actually, it's very interactive. You can just play around before you decide to invest with Musaffa, right? So, and pricing is like right here. What we did up to $5,000, we only charge $5 a month, less than a cup of coffee actually for a month. So if you do like from between 500 to $5,000, you pay only $5. And then between 5,000 to 15,000, you pay $10 a month. So it's just stepping to ladder. And then after 15,000, it becomes like asset under management. And again, you can say that because remember one more thing, you're not comparing the apple to apple. our competition is not Charles Schwab directly. Our competition is very few Sharia-compliant companies because there are associated costs with the running Sharia-compliant platform on top of that, and it's just basically monitoring, holding, and everything, right? So that's also because if you look at the competition one on one, and it's very very affordable because we've done the research. We know which competitor we have in Islamic world. And based on that, we believe it's quite competitive pricing. So uh, again, as more you invest, it keeps going down. Again, our biggest advantage is that we build the stock so you don't pay double fee. Remember, those platforms, if you open a Charles Schwab right now, if they have double fee, you need to go and check because they actually put together ETFs. We've done tons of research. And ETFs, they have fees. So you're paying this platform fee plus ETF fee. In our case, since the majority of the stocks we pick ourselves, so you don't pay double fee. So there's no hidden fee. If you pay $5 a month, there's no other fee you need to pay. Or $10 a month, there's no. We made it so simple because that's Islamic way to do it. We don't have hidden fees. And on trading platform side, we don't make any money from riba. So for example, some people say, oh, I have to pay $5 for Musaffa. By the way, trading platform, we brought down to like $15 to $5 a month. And why do I need to pay $5? Okay, first of all, let's look at what's happening. So if you invest $10,000 in Robinhood, so let's say you're not using, they take the cash and they give for marginal lending for about 7-8%. Based on our calculation, it's very public. Robinhood, half of their money they make from interest income. Where they're making it from the deposit you make. So we don't have that structure in the back place. The only way we can make money from our fixed cost that we charge, and it's only costs $5. And you know what I say to people who don't want to pay? Brothers, Jannah is not cheap. You have to give sacrifice something. For example, in my mortgage, I live in here in US. I was Wells Fargo. It was a lot cheaper because they have something called scalability, right? They're a very big bank. And then I got my loan from Sharia compliant company. Even if I was paying like $20 more per month, I didn't think twice because you know what? With that, I bought peace of mind to myself. And we're not trying, it's Musaffa here, we're not charging 20, 30, $50 a month, only $5 a month. Even you go to Starbucks right now or other coffee, you're gonna probably pay more than $5 for a coffee. But the reason we can charge that, we're going after scale. And Alhamdulillah, Musaffa has something called first mover advantage. We are one of the first companies who are able to launch that. So we're going after volume. And I think the price is quite affordable. So please do not compare one-on-one without the research. Go back and see like how much actually they're charging you with all the hidden fees, which we don't have.
Okay, that was very detailed. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for going into the value proposition. That
And
it's
I
very
would have
important.
shown it, but you guys can do research. Go back on the platforms. For example, in Canada, like there's one big company. I looked up, they're charging 0.5% Rinat. And I looked at inside all the ETFs, they're also charging almost 0.5%. Literally, you're paying 1% fee.
Yeah. And then any of them, let's go and try to open a account on Charles Schwab, Fidelity, or any of them. Do any of them do purification, automated purification? No, right? So all of this is built in Musaffa. And then are they? Will you be able to utilize all this whole investment related tools in your availability? No, right? So this all from the value proposition, and then comparatively, it is even cheaper if you take those double fees, right?
And
So
especially we're giving away that research platform that costs about $200 to $300 per year.
yeah, and this is
Uh,
all for the ummah for you to be successful,
yeah,
inshallah.
by the way, the research platform will be included in trading platform with a $5 fee. $5, you're getting unlimited research, you're getting unlimited purification, basically everything. And then you tell me $5 too expensive. I don't know what to do, brother or sister.
Yes, I agree.
Um,
So one of the questions is coming. Also at the beginning, which I tried to explain. I believe that brother or sister is available to listen to us. There was a huge concern about the companies that invest in Israel or anything that is related to the prohibited stocks that or boycotted stocks, etc. Right? So can you give a little bit of
yeah, yeah.
our roadmap, what are our plans, etc.?
So right now, again, this was the biggest concern for the last 2 years. That's why we developed the framework called MISRE. It's still being developed because we're putting like, imagine we are actually, that's why we're raising funds right now. And we come to at the end, you can also invest in Musaffa. Round is opening next week, but you can also directly invest in a larger amount. Why do we need this funding? Because exactly for this reason, we're actually hiring more analysts. We have a new department right now other than research. It's called MISRE. MISRE stands for Musaffa Islamic Social Responsible Investing. So those kind of research cannot be done with financial statements. You cannot look at the financial statement and judge if the company is being ethical. You have to do like extra research on top of it, right? So now we build it. I showed you on the platform, on the trading platform. I'm going to go back and show you again, exactly for that reason. Look at this. So now you go a halal stock screener here, for example. Let's look at the Apple in this case. And this is a really good feature that we developed. Alhamdulillah, it's getting better. So if you look at Apple sister or brother who asked question, look at Misra is actually our, you see it's under beta right now. It's called history report. Now we switched to 100 system on the trading platform. We're updating it. So not only that, look at this, what we did. We are actually going and different five different like again community impact and social controversies, maslaha, labor practice, human rights, product sector involvement. That's what it is. Environmental responsibility and ethical governance. Now we do our research and we score them, but as a community member now, you can come and you can also score. You can go Apple, for example, you can click rate, and now you can rate the companies based on what you believe what they're doing. It's community voting. Now, we believe that if it's our money as Muslims, we need to have a control over actually how they treat us, right? How we get treated as a Muslim Ummah. So now we can vote. If you don't like agree with it, you can vote it down and then you can submit it and more people come in. It's going to become more and more organic. So why is important? If you go up and down here, please pay attention. We had this question, we had this dilemma as a company. We had a lot of people come in, so we had to go our Sharia scholars. One of them is actually board member of AOF. If you guys don't know what AOF is, it's an organization called Accounting and Auditing of Islamic Financial Institutions. This organization basically makes rules what's Sharia compliant or not. It's the highest organization in the world in terms of that. A lot of Islamic banks actually they follow AOF as well. So we follow that. And one of our Sharia scholars is the board member of AOF. We brought that question. What we need supposed to do? This company is Sharia compliant, but they doing this. So you know what the answer was? We had 2 times very lengthy conversation, both same answer. They say we cannot, if they're Sharia compliant company, we have to say Sharia compliant. Just because we don't agree their political stance, we cannot just say not Sharia compliant, it's not Islamic way. For example, McDonald's not Sharia compliant. If they give $100 million to Palestine right now, are we gonna go to our platform and make them Sharia compliant? Question.
No.
No, we cannot. Same way, if it's Sharia compliant company, we cannot automatically say it's not Sharia compliant. So it is Sharia compliant because we look at the financials and revenue. But they propose us develop the framework again, additional to it. That's why we did internally. It's called we call it IP intellectual property. We developed the mystery. Now, inshallah, as you can see here, you can look at the Sharia compliant, but mystery score can be low, and you can see soon. You can click on it. You can read the report as well, inshallah. Then you make your decision. It might be Sharia compliant, but it's gonna fail from mystery. So if you look at here, this is exactly what we have in here. So if you look at here, companies, they have mystery scores. For example, like AMD, you can Johnson & Johnson is weak. They're falling from like environmental responsibility. This company, Apple is failing from labor practice and human rights. So, and then inshallah soon you can click and read the report, but that needs resources, right? I hope I was able to answer your question in detail. We are in our portfolio, we're also gonna have mystery portfolio, but it's gonna take some time. We will build a portfolio that's high in score in mystery. So that would be like, again, some people, for example, they want to invest in, again, once we fix the politics and this Sharia, this is something that we cannot mix under one. So, but then we can give next to each other so you can make better informed decision. At the end of the day, it's up to you what you want to invest in, right? So I hope I was able to answer. We are listening. We have hundreds of items right now in the pipeline. Alhamdulillah, we have years of work to do right now because non-stop people are asking these things and we keep building it, but we have to prioritize based on our resources, you know? That's why we're raising funds. Alhamdulillah, we raised 100% community, about 1,100 investors we have right now, 1,100. And 90% of them are platform users. And the 90, and the best part of it, we had like 27,000 more people actually, they showed interest to invest. Actually, we need to basically reach out. So a lot of good things are happening on that side. Okay, who's next?
Um, So, one of the longer question uh, about, I believe this is mainly about why we did fundraising, Dilshod. Can you explain? Because most people look at very disproportionately because they don't understand how efficiently the funds have been used by Musaffa. If you can give that,
Yeah,
of course, we
of
don't
course.
have open fundraising right now, but we open from time to time. Just from my own thought, we are fully community backed. That's why I work in Musaffa. Otherwise, I would not spend my time coming to and joining Musaffa with the background to build and deliver for Muslims, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
if you can give
yeah.
your explanation on this point, I guess it's very important. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, yeah, very good question. So any company would raise money to grow. Right now, everybody knows Robinhood. Do you think Robinhood happened in one night? No, they know they raised over $5.4 billion with a B to become Robinhood. I think that's what, based on my last research, they raised billions of dollars basically to be Robinhood. Musaffa raised from inception. When we started the company, I personally invested about $250,000 of my life savings, every single penny, my 401k, my car, my apartment, everything I invest in the company before we took even one penny from investors. Because I'm that kind of person, like if I do something, I have to go all the way before I can even ask anybody to invest in the company. So I was maxed out, Alhamdulillah. And second thing, and when the company grows, you have to pay salaries. People don't work for free. You have to pay salaries. And in our case, about our 80% of our fundraise goes to salaries. And it's one of the lowest salaries in the market. So basically, why? Because the management has a good amount of ownership in the company. So that's why they're taking a lot of sacrifice. And if you look at our expenses, it's extremely efficient. And you know what? It's not just me. If you look at the platform I'm sharing, recently, Alhamdulillah, we do have institutional investor investing, inshallah, and they wrote a report. Let me actually show the report to you. So let's see what they say. So this is investmusaffa.com. Right now it's closed, but it will be open soon. As you can see, crowdfunding closed. But to answer your question, you can go SEC filings in here, investmusaffa.com. You can go SEC filings. And I know it's closed, but we can share it, right, Rinat, for them.
Yeah, this is just a waitlist
For
page, but
information purposes,
yeah,
yeah. So let me go ahead and share on the screen so you can also take a look at it. Just to give me a second, and I'll get to the point to answer these questions because it's a very important question, right? So So let me go ahead and you can go here, investmusaffa.com. It will be open very soon, inshallah. So every time our stock price keep going up, alhamdulillah. So if you go SEC filings right here, it's right here. Every time we raise funds for the past 3 years, we have been filing documentation with the Security Exchange Commission. So I have to go background check. All the executive guys will go background check before we raise any penny from the community. So it's a lot of restrictions. So if you go here, for example, last round is called Forum C. Click on it. We have right here about 200 pages of information about Musaffa. 200. As you can see, 201 pages right here. It's a detailed information about business plans, our financial risk, rewards, you name it, right? So it's actually, let me actually do this. So you can go in here. You can see like everything extremely detailed. I don't know why it's opening like a little bit hazy. Let me put it back. So it's very, very detailed. And also, if you go all the way, business strategy, how we're gonna utilize the funds to the penny. You see that we're raising 2 million last time. Or like what's the goal of raising? About 35% is gonna go, 32% marketing, product software. You can see everything in detail in here. And also you can also see like how much money we raised until now to the detail. First investor invested $200,000, as you can see, in June 30 to 22, and then we raised another 335.5, and we keep raising funds because we keep building the platform. And one of the things I want to show you, just to have a idea how efficient we are. So, Alhamdulillah. So this institutional investor, when they did the due diligence, and they took us so much information from us, data room, you name it, right? Institutional investors, Alhamdulillah. Again, we have a signed term sheet by institutional investor, just the way. Other than the 1,000, more than 1,000 investors, now, inshallah, we're also raising money from institutions. So this institutional UCA Capital Partners, they basically, their chairman wrote a report why they invest in Musaffa. If you look at here, I can proudly say that this is the best part because as the CEO of the company, I'm always being very, very careful with investors' money. Because again, at the end of the day, I also own like again half of the company. So, I have to be like extremely like efficient, right? Alhamdulillah, which I am being. So if you look at here, Mustafa's traction demonstrates both global demand and company's exceptional capital efficiency. And we built the whole company with $7.2 million. Show me a company in the world right now who was able to do that, launch global investment platform, launch managed portfolios. How? Without institutional money, we did that with the community support, 100%. And I don't know any company who can do that with $7 million. You name it.
I can give two examples. When Robinhood launched, just example to understand, and brother is asking a little bit more follow-up question, which I will definitely respond, and then there's something you can contribute to. So in terms of the Robinhood, anyone can go and open. They have Form D filings, and then you can open and look at it.
This is
Four
how much
times
there
there
is.
was invested up to 1 billion in 1 year, the year then they were launching their trading platform. Can you imagine it with the 7 million what Musaffa did? So, or another one which I'm in from Canada, it's well simple. You simply take a look how much the investment was poured in order to this company to ground up, right? To start their platform and etc. So when you see the difference, and then the brother again asking, so he has one more additional concern. Of course, I
Sure.
brought it as one point, but he's saying that there's only 2 months of the runway. Just to explain from my perspective, and Shadika, you can chime in. Musaffa has been raising fundraising and relying on the community for last 3 years, almost 2.5 years.
3 years. Yeah,
So
3 years.
yes, so if we were, and then you can go and check, anyone can go and check our Form Cs. Our filings either was very relatively close, either 4 month or 6 month or 2 month or 1 quarter. We rely on the community's investment. But I would like to add this to the can, and if you can elaborate a little bit. This year was very pivotal for Musaffa because of
Yes,
these
I'll cut
big
that. Yeah.
launches and including the amount of how much of we discounted on our costs.
So let me
That
talk
is,
about the
yeah.
runway portion because I think it's really interesting. Brother, I've been in finance for 24 years. I did analyze, Alhamdulillah, I could say literally hundreds of thousands of companies for a living. So our runway works a little bit differently. We don't depend on one or two paychecks like bigger companies like VCs. Sometimes you get a commitment from VC and they can cut it off anytime. We have a diversification. Right now on the pipeline, we have 27,000 people want to invest in Musaffa. Usually what we do, we run it. We have something called just in time. Like Toyota had this model. You raise as you need. We are very efficient. So right now we have 2 month runway. We're launching crowdfunding, and one crowdfunding in 3 days we raised enough money for like almost 3 months of runway. In 3 days we raised. Since we have this, Alhamdulillah, incredible community support. Why is it coming? Because I believe we are doing a really good job. Why? Show me an app that has 1.2 million downloads, Islamic fintech app in the world right now that has a 4.8, 4.9 ratings. The users are happy with the service and they keep supporting us. Why we did this way, I'll tell you that. We have so many times institutional investors reached out to us. Finally, we agreed to work with one of them. Why are they reaching out to us? Because again, when we come, we also look at the source of the investment. Now we have over 1,000 investors. We know them by name, and every money comes into Musaffa. And I invested my life as a founder on this company. I can tell you that We we don't take money from where we don't know where the money is coming. This is a mission-driven company. It's not just AI company, or we're not selling shoes or shirts, whatever. All due respect to those companies which doesn't have much mission around it. Our thing is mission. This company has to survive hundreds of years. How do we do that if we don't take the money from the right sources? So again, Alhamdulillah, more than 1,000 investors already invested over 7 million. And the really good news, in the next 3 to 6 months, we are breaking even, inshallah. And the best part of it, since we're talking about that, we need around 10,000 people paying subscriber, paying and not subscribers. We don't have subscription. We're giving it away, inshallah. So again, once people start opening accounts, they're transferring funds now up to 10,000. So until now, I'll be very open with you. We got around 13,000 payment came in from research only. 13,000 from over 129 countries. So that validated the model, the business model, that actually they're paying for research. Forget that about investing platform is actually, we think it's going to be much better. And we only need about 10,000 to 12,000 people right now on the platform. That's going to equate to 2% of our user base. We got 640,000 people on the platform. And 2% we get conversion, we break even, and it's going to be in the green. I think it's going to happen in the 3 to 6 months.
Inshallah. And one important, very important aspect, we, of course, we don't force anyone. And then brother is saying, if I take my time and hassle and then transfer all the funds, if the company doesn't, no one forces, and especially in the private investing, it's you need to do your research, you need to take your time. Any investment involves its own risk, even a public company. Right now, the one of the big IPOs is being launched. We all know, which is surprises everyone, never happened in the history. Even that one has a risk. Any public company, even in all of the prospectuses that they file, even Apple or Google, all of them say that any investment is a risk, right? So we don't, anyone, please take your time. We always open, and then information we provided not only for one user, of course, for entire community, and we are always open. We put, I believe, in my experience, I'm trying to share here, I haven't seen a private company that put that much of the transparency in its filings and about its work, right? So you can always check it on our website. You can always check all the filings. Private companies cannot raise funds unless through crowdfunding, unless they put all the filings publicly.
And we
So
have pages of information here. If you go here, brother, look at this. We can see our financials. On top of that, you can see here contents. We talk about the risk related to the company's business industry, risk related to offering securities. And then we talk about the business and use of proceeds. Even if you go to business segment, it's very detailed, our next 2 years, 3 years goals, quarter to quarter. It's very, basically, I would say that detailed. And again, private company in their stage giving 200 pages of information, brother. I work as an equity research analyst. Public companies, they don't even do that. If I go and open right now, probably Coca-Cola, you're gonna get 200 pages. But most companies, they don't even give 50 pages. And it's very detailed because we can look at, we give you mindset. Look at this, brother. So we can talk about Musaffa solutions, what addressing the market gap. Again, core model, what kind of core model we have. We also do like a research analysis, marketing analysis. We put like very a lot of effort into this because we want to educate our people. Because you know what, the best part, brother, I can proudly say that we have invest up to 5 times in 5 different rounds. Why? Why they keep coming back? You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Dilshod, again, and brother clarified, I guess he should have been a little bit clear because we focus a lot on the crowdfunding. He's saying that, what if I transfer my assets to your brokerage for investment purposes? He's saying that, well, what if the Musaffa is going to survive? I have to explain that as well because
You can do that, please. You know what
yes,
to do.
all of this is on our footers. We are CIPC certified. We have a broker, so your money would not disappear anywhere. We work with Alpaca, one of the known infrastructure broker dealer provider for RIAs, robo advisors, like Musaffa, like many others. Your money is safe with them. Your money won't disappear anywhere. Right, so it's up to 500,000 secured. So and then none of your money will disappear. Just for the sake of the people who are here, so that you can go to the footer,
Yeah.
footer here. No, to our to not you're in the broker in the platform. Can you go to the our
Which
no
one you
the
need?
main page, our marketing page? You're inside of
Oh,
the
okay.
platform,
Okay, let me go
and
back.
if you
Musaffa.com, right?
yes, Musaffa.com.
Musaffa.com. Yeah, we are actually the SPIC secured up to $500,000. If you invest right now through Musaffa or Charles Schwab, you're gonna get same protection.
Yeah, it's all the same protection. We
Same
cannot
protection.
operate. No one can operate in the U.S. market. I was confused what the brother is asking. So you can
Yes.
see the Shariah here. So it's when you bring on the alpaca, you see there's information about the alpaca, the SEC registered, and then entity platform.
Does it mention alpaca here? Just want to make sure. I think
It should be mentioned because we mentioned.
yeah,
Over
right
there.
here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you see, and then bring it on the icon. There's an icon. You see the,
Yes.
yes, you see all the CIPC
Yeah.
registered.
Up to $500, $500,000 right here. So that means your investment is protected up to $500,000. Anything happens to Musafa doesn't matter. Your investment stays with you,
Yes,
basically.
yes, exactly.
It's like a federal FDIC insurance, right? The bank go down, you're still gonna get $250,000, right? Guaranteed. So basically, this is a protection. Nobody can operate without that in U.S. market. So I hope I was able to answer. I thought it was more about crowdfunding, so I was going into more
Yeah.
detail. But I guess it's a good thing that a lot of people learned about investing in the company as well. If you want to invest in company, please again we're launching equity crowdfunding next week. But in the meantime, if you want to also there's a way based on if you come from network, you can also invest in directly into company as well. And as I said, that everything is transparent and all this. If you go here, you can also see the investment purposes. Every single penny that came to Musaffa is reported. It's not like we keep it. We have to legally report everything. So as you can see, this our first investment was $200,000. You can see like June 30, 2022. And then we got 335, 500,000. And then one brother told me, look, your platform is so good because people will understand because they're solving their problem. They want to invest halal way. And then why don't you community? I said, well, I like that idea. So we approached community. First time you raise from the community directly, alhamdulillah, through crowdfunding. We raised about $150,000, about 91 investors. Then we launched another one. Alhamdulillah, we raised 836,000. We launched another one. We raised 863,000. Another one, almost 800,000. So Alhamdulillah, we raised about $2.5 million from the community loan, but the rest of them, they came from accredited investors. So I think we're well overdue. I think it was
Yeah,
really
we're well overdue.
went well. Well, I want to
Yes.
thank everybody here. As long as do you have any important question? How about if Musafa web app doesn't work suddenly? Well, brother,
Anything can happen to any company.
the world can end tomorrow. What are we gonna do? Of course, we're not gonna make it. Brother, you have to have trust. That's the thing we're working really hard. Please have trust. Would you ask the same company if it's a white person's company right now? Probably not. So you have to trust. Just because Muslim doesn't mean we provide lower quality service. I'm from a country called Uzbekistan. A lot of people might not know. If you look at golden age of Islam, you're gonna see that half of the scholars came from my region of the world you know. And we got Abu Ali bin Sina. The word medicine came from his name. Abu
SubhanAllah.
al-Harazmi. The word algebra came from al-Jabr wal-Muqawala. The word algorithm came from his name al-Harazmi. Farabi. All the scholars at-Tirmidhi. We have Bukhari. We are the center of these people. We have to be proud of who we are. If we're not, nobody's going to respect us. And we need to start respecting each other. The question is like, what if it doesn't work? Well, we're going to make it. It works. It's life.
And we've been for 5 years in the company, and there hasn't been a situation where our platform went down. There are cases where some tools might not work, but why would if the company itself exists? Of course, if anything, that always reach out to support. We are always available. That's why we are on the 4.8 rating we have, because our customer support always responds. They put the priority on any question that comes.
Every single
Alhamdulillah.
question I go over as a CEO, I go over questions, brother. What do you say? I look at everything. If we get one star, we'll find that person. If we cannot find, I literally tell people to go knock their doors and solve their problems. This is how much we put effort, brother.
Yeah, brother Said, Anas mentioned about Bukhari. I come myself from Bukhara, right? So I take it very responsibly, every single thing that we put in compliance, in legal, in any aspect. Alhamdulillah, and the whole team has been working hard to deliver for Ummah. So we grow together, right? We want your support as well. That's why it goes for both ways.
We have to take a leap of faith, trusting each other. This thing has
Yeah.
to like stop, not trusting because we are Muslim, we don't trust each other. That's exactly why we are doing education platform, because we have to build this one. We are descendant of a great people. We just need to remember who we are, and then we just need to let people come. You know, they used to travel from like Europe. There's a movie called Physician, from Europe, from UK, just to Isfahan in Iran, and in just to learn skills from Ibn Sina.
Yeah.
You know, we need to be proud of that, and that's why I always like motivate our team like that. And Alhamdulillah. So please don't get me wrong. I'm not just trying to explain. I just say this is the exact thing that we want to like. If you're doing a webinar right now with some other company, probably you wouldn't ask the question. I know that,
Mm.
but being a Muslim doesn't mean inferior. It's
SubhanAllah.
gonna work a lot better, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Yes, the
Uh,
recording will be shared with the people. I would say at this point, we went in a very length in detail. Again, one more time, the disclaimers, I try to make it vividly and clearly understood by everyone. Please note that the investing involves risks, and then past performance doesn't guarantee the future results. These are the disclaimers that we have to make because SEC requires me, and I work every day. Every single post, if you go and check on Musaffa, has its own disclaimers because we follow the law by its dot and rules. So always consult with the financial advisors for your personalized investment. Our portfolios may not be available in every jurisdiction. Check your jurisdiction, and we follow U.S. Legislation. Full disclaimers and rep fee brochures, all ADV filings, every single thing is on our website and on the public filings with all SEC and FINRA registrations. Please educate yourself as well. Thank you so much for your attention and for your participation in the webinar.
Okay, thank you everybody. But again, please reach out to us. Go to musaffa.com and open an account.